Occasional evening exclusive to Radio Ansaar.
Your education is a dress rehearsal for a life that is yours to lead.
School Matters with Sumaya Khan.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to School Night with me, Sumaya. Alhamdulillah. I trust you all are well. We are now in the third term, and educators are busy rounding up their work. Can you believe that the year is almost over? Our grade 12 learners are just 20 days away from beginning their final exams, an important milestone in their academic journey. Just the other day, we were wishing the class of 2024 all the best, and now we are wishing the class of 2025 all the best. With exams around the corner, especially for our grade 12 learners, one very important factor that often gets overlooked is diet and mental health. What you eat has a direct impact on your energy levels, focus, and even your memory. So today we're going to touch on those. May the Almighty grant us all, especially our learners, ease, focus, and success in the exam. May your hard work bring the best of results, and may you always use your knowledge to benefit others. Amen. Our guest this evening, again, as I say, it doesn't really need much of introduction. He's also going to touch on diet and mental health, why it's so important. Stress and anxiety can also feel overwhelming, but with the right mindset and habits, learners can stay calm and focus. Well, our guest in studio, I talk about him every now and then because my very first show on Radio Ansaar, Asif, was Mr. Peter Francis. Gosh, almost 2 decades ago. And I can remember what we spoke about. We spoke about the brain, the cognitive abilities, how you use the left-hand side and the right-hand side in the small studio.
Yeah.
In the small studio. Hello, how are you?
Good evening. Thank you very much for the
I
introduction.
thought I'm linking up with you and I was calling you and then you told me, no, I'm coming to studio. That was a lovely surprise. Yeah. Okay, so how long you been here in Durban?
About a month.
A month, okay.
Yeah.
You were here for some award?
Yeah, I getting a PhD.
Wow, Dr. Peter Francis. Asif, he got his doctorate's PhD. For those who are meeting Mr. Francis for the first time, you are an educator by heart. That was one of your very early careers back in the day. Now we are, every year we touch on this. You've been part of the matric seminars, the career seminars, the workshops over the years. And we always touched on diet, how important diet is. And then later on, we'll touch on mental health, especially for our matrics. Just before I came on air, while I was sitting and waiting for Siraj to finish, I had a bar one because I was feeling my energy levels are quite low.
Right. Look, the status of a human being dictates what they should eat at that point in time.
Yeah.
So there's not such a thing like the wrong food or the right food. But there is that knowledge that you should be, on a daily basis doing the right thing. You can't put ordinary diesel petrol in airline fuel, for the jets to fly. It won't fly, which means you need brain fuel for brain to function. You
Yeah,
can't give them nonsense food and expect them to run a cognitive mileage.
yeah. Do
It's a,
time has changed. There's fast foods everywhere. There's quick fixes, especially at this time of the year. Pharmacies and individuals are selling and advertising super drinks, super foods, super shakes. Pop this pill, and you can absorb more information, have more energy, especially during the exams. Now, how does that play a role with your diet, especially this time?
Yesterday was World's Pharmaceutical Day, if you recall. Look, all pharmacists are not qualified to sell natural products.
Hmm.
If you go into pharmacies now, 2 aisles or 3 aisles is full of natural food, fiber, energy
So they're not
drinks,
allowed to
etc.
sell it.
They're not qualified.
But since you touched on that, I've been to quite a few pharmacies, and I've always seen that even
Yeah, that
turmeric
brings the money.
water, like
Yeah, herbal things are full on the shelves now.
Yeah, that used to be generally Ayurvedic
Yes.
medicine.
So, I had the good fortune of being at the university and looking at the pharmacy curriculum. Nowhere in the pharmacy curriculum it states that a pharmacist can, as a license to dispense foods. In other words, if let's say something goes wrong with that tablet that he gave you, then there's a liability charge
Hmm.
because he's not qualified. The pharmacy course doesn't allow him.
Do I think for everyone who's listening out, they never knew that. I
You
did not
know,
know that. I thought it was okay to
I mean,
sell.
what does a pharmacy know about turmeric soap?
They're calling it some gold, some liquid gold.
Liquid
Liquid
gold.
gold. Yeah, you see these bottles when you go to certain
Right.
pharmacies, and even like a whole lot of other stuff.
Yes, lots of
Superfoods.
things. Lots of things now. Those are things that were housed in health shops. They're
Yeah.
housed in Ayurvedic shops. Now, 2/3 of the pharmacy is full of natural products.
Okay.
While they're selling the drugs on side, they're selling the.
I like that. While they're selling the drugs one side.
Yeah.
Now, what if you're a parent? Would you? I mean, what advice do you have for them? Because it's also stressful for them, and there's stuff advertised and marketing sometimes can be so good for something which is so bad. So when you're looking at energy drinks, that's like
Yeah.
the hype.
Right. Now, look at you can get supplements which has a high content of vitamin B.
Yeah.
Vitamin B is brain food. Now, I wrote matric and I wrote lots of subsequent exams. I wrote about 6, university examinations. But I always took vitamin B, which was cheap on the counter. For 10 Rand, you can get about 20 or 30 vitamin B, which is not, branded.
Okay, vitamin B.
Yeah, but vitamin B is a very essential kind of, component for the brain.
So vitamin D,
Vitamin B.
vitamin B.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's for the brain.
Brain.
But I remember back in the day, it was just iron tablets and vitamin B.
Yeah. Now the iron tablets is very essential for females, especially because of the cycle and
Yeah.
they losing blood, etc. So you're compensating the iron that you're losing, and then vitamin B is adding to your brain food. Now, you must know the food that you take. Only 20% of that food goes for the brain.
Only
Right?
20%.
Only 20%. And then you must know the brain is a muscle and it's got a lot of fat.
Yeah.
So you must be very selective as to what fat you consume. Now, nobody tells you what fat you should eat or what not you should eat. You probably know this. You've been an educator. We teach our children to study to pass exams so that they get a career. We don't teach children about health or how to live their lives and when to go to the toilet and how to use the toilet. It's part of life. If they don't go, I mean, if the let's say the stomach is not working during an examination time, it is a stressful kind of status. What they're going to do? So in Ayurvedic medicine, we liquidize two William pairs. 10 minutes, you'll be visiting the toilet. Nothing in the pharmaceutical shelf can challenge two William pairs.
Well, that's an easy, quick fix because,
Yeah.
like, generally people will tend to take other.
Yes, the
Drinks.
first thing you'll go to movie corner that moves that.
Yeah.
No, those are disaster things because there's other side effects to it. The old saying, for every pill, there's lots of pills. Now, I've got a lot of respect for the pharmacy, having a daughter who was a doctor, another nurse managing the urology ward, and so on. I have a total respect for the pharmaceutical industry. But there's a time, place, limit, parameters in which you operate,
Yeah.
right? I'm 77 now, and I'm proudly saying it because I see children. My nephew is going to hospital for the arteries, the aorta is collapsing at 48.
Mm.
So he's playing golf. In order to play the game, you must be healthy. Now, there's a funny notion. People think, I'm playing golf, it'll keep me fit. No. You must be doing something on fitness to play the game. Muhammad Ali went to the gym. More times he spent in the gym than he spent in the ring. And he became the world champion 3 times.
Yeah.
Right. And if you see him, he invested in his health. He invested in his body. That's why he could take that. So every child that's got a passion for a career must be conscious of the fact that if they don't put the right fuel for their brain, they're not going to achieve what their passion is guiding them. So some basic things that we need to know. You can't go, the Ayurveda says you must take the middle of the road. Don't go to the extreme right, extreme left. Don't become a carnivore and don't eat vegetables. Eat some of the meat if you're a meatarian and eat some of the vegetables and the fruit. Then you'll be, virtually balanced,
Yeah.
right? Although we are meant to eat only, leafy, at least be herbivores. But as time passed, the system has modified now, so we eat everything. But we need to know the brain is like the blue chip in a computer. You take away the blue chip, the computer is useless with a big, screen and whatever you have in front of you. So the stomach is, the dichotomy of an engine, of a motor car or jet or whatever. If it's not functioning properly, then that plane is going to crash.
Yeah.
Right? And the same thing with the people now writing metric. We are looking for quick fixes. What can take us through the storm? But you're never prepared when the storm wasn't there.
Exactly.
See?
So don't try out anything for the first time.
First time, no.
During your matric.
It's going to cost you time.
You
It's
could
going to
get
cost,
sick.
yeah, you get sick.
Okay.
Right.
And diet, food, right?
Diet.
Okay, I'm studying. Okay, I'll just phone Uber Eats. Asif, Uber Eats. We'll phone Uber Eats. Can come and deliver. Today will be a pizza.
Yeah.
Later on in the day might be burger or some fried chicken or something.
Now you see that's disaster food. You need some things that good, like fatty fish. The brain is made of fat, a lot of fat. 60% of the brain is fat.
Yeah.
So you must eat healthy fat. Avocados got healthy fat. You can eat avocados from Monday to Sunday. And they've gone a little bit expensive here now.
But why is that? Why is avocados? And yet at one point, everybody had it growing in the yard. Everyone had mango trees, avocado trees, guava trees.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Oh, the whole of Overport. There was orchards
mulberry.
there.
Tell me, I don't see mulberry trees anymore. What happened with them?
You must know they're now selling, Woolworths selling mulberry trees.
No, we're not going to mention any stores, but ridiculous. What we should get from a tree, absolutely free.
You're now paying an arm and a leg for a small punnet.
Exactly.
And you must know berries is invaluable for brain.
Yeah.
It's one of the most essential food for brain development.
And it's so expensive. I have a lot of
berries.
Friends and colleagues will say they try to, start a diet
Yeah.
to eat healthy, and they say they broke
Right.
because it's like, unfortunately, we are not lucky South Africans. Maybe I'm talking because we don't tend to buy the foods in season, the fruits in which are in season.
Yeah. It's one of the things that you must also bear in mind, that if you eat fruit in season.
Okay.
Now that we have these big refrigerators, you can get nectarines in the wrong season, in winter.
Yeah. No.
Right?
No. That's true. And they too are so
Yeah.
expensive. The white flesh.
Yeah.
So you say berries are superfoods.
Yeah. Fatty fish. For the fatty fish, you get in salmon. And you get the wild salmon, you get the salmon, from the Cape, where the oceans meet. Salmon is a very recovering food. If you are ailing, give somebody salmon, and you see the recovery rate, faster than anything else.
Okay, I
It
know.
is like putting the right fuel.
A lot of people when they go through some physical illness or dieting or, as you say, brain food, they turn to salmon as a fish.
Yes, because one, it feeds the brain.
Oily fish.
It's oily fish. It's good oil.
Good oil.
Yeah, it's one of the fatty fishes. So they recommend fatty fishes, but salmon, tuna, sardines as well.
Sardines, old school
Right?
sardines.
You must know the sardines, we ignore them when they come in floods, yeah. But sardine is carrying brain food.
Brain food, the old
And
fashioned.
fortunately, KZN has a flood of sardines, and there's a flood of academics here as well. You'll notice our food dictates academics. The Indians that came here early and started staying here built 365 schools in this province of KZN. I don't know whether the diet was responsible for that.
Well,
as
if you look at it, the herbs, the vegetables, as you said, the sardines, the diet plays such a big role.
Right.
So you're suggesting fish.
Fish is one of the things. Berries and nuts. You know the nuts. You saw this walnut.
Yeah.
If you look at the walnut, it's got the convolutions of the brain.
Looks like a brain, a walnut.
Yes, it is brain food.
Okay.
And you get like names. Mr. Tutla being a dentist or Mr. Butch being a surgeon. Now in the fruit, the walnut looks like the brain convolutions, and it is very rich as a fuel for the brain. Walnut particularly. So nuts is a good, we can give matriculants nuts, raisin or mixed nuts to eat, in between. Eat the small meals and eat nutritiously, and dark chocolates, the Lindt and all the kind of the dark chocolates. The dark chocolates are healthy compared to the other chocolates. At times, okay, they may want to sip on Coke because of the caffeine. Now, you must know caffeine is essential for brain as well. It gives a wake up. That is why night shift workers have coffee. If you see those American movies, the coffee shop is open till midnight.
24.
For night shift workers, nurses and doctors having coffee. It's about the caffeine gives a quick wake up call to the brain. It feeds the brain. And now I came from a function and I saw somebody drinking Red Bull. Now, relative to the Red Bull, the person is not drinking it because she likes it, but she's tired. And Red Bull contains like about 11 cups of coffee in there.
Gosh. But also too much of it can...
No, too much. No, you can't have this regularly. You can do it for an emergency. That is why now in Matric, now we're talking about whole grain, dark chocolates, coffee sometimes. Coffee will be there, keep them awake rather than sleeping. But lifestyle is important now. When you are studying late in the night, you can't have a heavy supper. So you rather go for small meals that are nutritious, broccolis and, a lot of leafy green vegetables.
So basically, stick with your mother's bhaji and roti, then going for the pizza.
Yeah, so you get what we call a Mediterranean. You look as staying in the coast, you must have saw a lot of birds, but you never saw a sick bird.
True.
You know what?
We only saw a bird with Chicano.
Right. Yeah. So the birds actually live on a Mediterranean diet.
Okay.
Nobody told them to stay on Mediterranean diet, but you'll see a slim bird where and they migrate for miles from South Africa to the British Isles and so on because they live on what is compatible to them. What is compatible to them is grain and fruit.
Mm.
Now, if our meticulans can eat a lot of grain, a lot of fruit, a lot of color vegetables, a lot of color fruit, they're going to be winners. Notice anything with color is expensive. If the cabbage is maroon, you're going to pay more price. If the onion is maroon, you're going to pay more price, right? So papaya now has gone more expensive than the ordinary pawpaw. But papaya is a gut food.
Yeah.
It'll keep your gut clean. It's good bacteria, and you'll never constipate.
Okay.
So people who are born, they're born with constipation. You must remember because of the, blue chip. We talked about the blue chip and the birth balance. So if you are constipating, then papaya is one of the things you must have in your kitchen, besides the Olympe. But you go to, I think there's at the Masgrave, they got a special parlor now where they give you fruit juices. I don't know if you must
They
have
call
noticed.
it magic shots and tonics and
Is it?
potions.
Let me tell you, those things are like magic. They work. I sent a friend over there who, had a problem with his gut. He reckon, this is like a magic place. That is magic. Right? So, what they gave him is a William pear juice. He said it worked like magic.
Yeah.
Right? But what I'm saying is, this is education. Now, you're understanding. Now, if I'm going to keep my gut clean, that is my engine room. It's like a ship. If the engine room is faulty, it's going to crash, like the Titanic or whatever, right? So meticulans must be aware now. They can eat poultry, they can eat eggs, they can eat all grains, fat. They can put olive oil, virgin olive oil in the salads and so on, and they'll get away.
Yeah.
There's a whole range. This is like a gallery of things that you can choose. Now, what we're choosing is now the 60-60 fellow delivering, or the Mr. Delivery delivering. They're delivering half the time dead food because sometimes what stops them from recycling food and giving you?
Yeah, true. What about hydration? How important is that?
You see, if you don't hydrate, it's going to cost you pain, remember. A lack of water will give you body aches and pains because the hydrochloric acid increases in your body and crystallizes. And when it crystallizes, doctors have to inject you in that area where the crystallization has taken place. And that is a lack of not drinking sufficient water. And not, you have to be also cautious. There are certain foods and certain medication carry hydrochloric acid. Aspirin got acid. So if you got a headache and you're taking aspirin, you're going to have body pains after the headache because the aspirin got so much of acid.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
So, it's a learning process. You want quick fix. Sometimes you have to go to an XYZ place and you're full of aches and pains, but you need to get there. So that is where the pharmaceutical industry comes, where you can give you a quick fix. But you mustn't, that is a en passant route. You must come back and take, sufficient water, 6 glasses of water, have water all the time on the table, wherever you are, carry water, etc.
So
hydration is essential. You can't, the body is made of 80%, 90% water. There's non-negotiable.
Something which is so common today, we tend to take for granted our mental health. With a lot of matric learners, after we write exams, and this is a whole discussion in its own, the suicide rate, and we don't realize how the mental health affects that individual to actually take their life
you
away.
See what the fact that I mentioned now, our curriculum is so empirically beefed up. We, side by side, we should tell these children, if you want to enjoy metric, it will be a floating year for you. Let's also look at your diet. Eat correctly, eat lots of fruits, eat a lot of nuts, eat the walnuts, there's a big spread.
Yeah.
Avoid the fast food. Go home and even cut a tuna. Tuna is brain food,
Yeah, true.
right? Tuna, sardines, and salmon and all are brain food. And if you, the least you can do is open a can of tuna and have it with a sandwich, and you helping your brains to function well, and you are getting energy.
You mean with the green chilies and dhania and onion?
Yeah. Now, green chilies contains a high vitamin C now.
Okay.
You must know, these old people, the chilies was like part of the diet.
Mm.
And you'll notice that those people didn't get flus and infections and so on so easily. The vitamin C in the chilies is very high.
Yeah.
And they eat chilies like not in the vinegar, they eat it raw.
Right.
Right.
So diet is so
So
important.
important.
Yeah. So suicide rate, mental health, we don't know what that learner, that child is going through, high expectations, embarrassment, fear that leads them to actually go in a state of depression after exams and even suicide. How can they, how
You
can we
see,
nurture or take care
right,
of their mental health?
right. You see, we get the mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah.
Now, spirit, it means your relationship with God.
Mm.
Whatever religion you are, you need to have this relationship with God. It is something personal with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not to do with anybody else. So that is your spirit. Then you have your mind. Your mind is your soul. That is who Sumaya is.
Mm.
That's the personality. Now the body is the flesh, right? So you must look after the body for for the other things to function properly. If you want to be like Mother Teresa, she had a very heavy spiritual connection. She was very spiritually elevated, but she also looked after the body because she wanted to be like a missionary, feeding the people, etc.
Mm.
So you can't achieve your passion if you don't have the vehicle to go with,
True.
right? So there's a lot of emphasis now, and there's free available courses now that I'm involved in for the mind, body, and spirit, where you feed the body, you feed the mind, teach you meditation. Meditation pushes up your immune system.
Yeah.
I'm teaching my 5-year-old, how to pray and go to school. And look, in Islam, they talk about praying 5 times. Look at this. You look at it spiritually now. Forget about everything else. The fact that you have to pray 5 times and the posture that you execute the prayer activates your peristalsis movement in your stomach, and you won't be constipating.
Yeah.
So it keeps the engine clean. And now that you're praying, you're getting a spiritual upliftment.
Mm.
So you can't think there's no existence of God. You need to recognize you are here because of God.
Mm.
So metric, it is a phase in their life, but they need to recognize all this. They come with the parents. They need to recognize the parents as God, the visible God they've got. They brought them into this earth.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to show gratitude and gratitude is an attitude kind of thing. You don't, if I take a sample of 10 people, 9 of them show ingratitude.
But that's the culture today where to show gratitude, empathy doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist because we don't emphasize it. There
It's
is
like a different generation.
we're emphasizing a generation that is lacking gratitude, but we're also lacking leadership. We don't see great leaders now.
You see many leaders, but no great
No
leaders.
great leaders. There's no Mandela gonna come back again in the new generation because you see it in the schools.
Mm-hmm.
They're not surfacing. But there's a lot of emphasis on the wrong things now. Lifestyle where money is dictating, material is dictating, and you compromising basic fundamental things like your health, your spirituality, your mind, because your integrity must precede you. If Sumaya is selling a product, they're not going to buy the product. They buy Sumaya because she is XYZ.
Yeah.
You buy an insurance policy because of the man's integrity, not the product.
Mm-hmm. The broker.
Yeah, the broker. The broker is not important. The broker is important. It's not the product. So what makes that integrity so good? It is a balanced lifestyle. You eat well, your body's feeling good. You need to recognize that you came here, to a divine intervention, and you know, you can't sideline those things. They're essential things. Now the new generation has sidelined God. They hardly go to the mosque. The mosque is empty. Only during Ramzan, you say the mosque is a bit full, but probably we're giving nice samosas to breakfast. Right? So they're all the mosques. We got a lot of mosques and they're empty.
Mm.
So we producing a new generation that is not very mindful of spirituality.
Okay. We have messages coming in. Well, the message says, Mr. Francis, my sister, my brother have been listening to you over the years when they were in matric. One of them is working, an accountant, and the other one is in university. They always told me the story of a clove, how important it is. At one of the matric seminars, you mentioned how a clove can assist with viruses, and especially if you have a tooth infection. Can you tell me more about that?
Clove is an anti-inflammatory component.
Okay.
Bottom line. So every ache and pain a clove can take.
Okay.
And primarily all your chest aches and bronchitis and so on. If you take clove and you put it in the water and you drink the water next day, it is like a tonic.
Okay.
You take clove naturally and put it under your tongue, you won't cough. It'll arrest the cough immediately. If you get a toothache, dentists are still using clove oil for dentistry to take away pain. So clove essentially is an anti-inflammatory. That's one. You cleanse your house from all the negative energy. Just burn clove. The smoke will kill the negative energy and you'll sleep well. Now, sleeping is essential because if you don't sleep comfortably, you can't function next day.
Do you know, when I was little, if you went to any function or anywhere, what you always see the grannies and the nannies and the daddies and all of them, they'll always have a piece of what, ilachi or clove in their mouth.
Clove.
It was like if they leave the house, they must take a clove and go.
Yeah.
It was like how we chew a gum.
Right. So the clove it's a great supporter of negative energy.
Okay.
So you carry clove with you, it will save you from coughing. Remember, if you constantly cough, we see them in the clinic, it can affect your entire physiology.
True.
I saw, youngsters, young ladies couldn't contain the urine because of the coughing. Here is clove. Buy 2 rands of clove, right? It'll save the day. It's an anti-inflammatory compound, and
Every single
for everything. So
Well, we have another message which came in. Assalamu alaikum, great show. I love listening to all the health remedies, plus it's cost effective. Jungle oats. Well, I love jungle oats because it's brain food, but I was told that it's also very cold for my chest when I'm sick.
You see, jungle oats, I won't say it's cold food. It's a lot of fiber, right? And it's useful for breakfast. But because there are different types of people, there's a permutation of people. Some people, jungle oats works. Some people, some brand works. Some people, it's the toast and something will work for them.
Yeah.
So it's not like a thing that you can recommend. If the jungle oat's not working for you, you must switch to another fiber diet that will work for you, right? Probably the milk is carrying a lot of nonsense now. So you must have, milk.
And there's such a variety: skim milk, low-fat milk, full cream milk, almond milk, soya milk.
So
milk.
you go for the safe milk. You go for the soya milk. You go for the almond milk. Now almonds are brain food.
I was just going to tell you the same thing.
The cocktail we recommend for studies for people studying now is like about 8 almonds, 4 dates, 2 ilachi. Put it in the milk, make a smoothie, and drink it.
Can you repeat that?
It's 8 almonds, 4 dates, 2 ilachi. You put
Okay.
it in milk in the fridge at night, so it soaks and it gives a good flavor. And then you're having a glass of brain food next morning.
Okay.
Right?
Well, we have messages coming in. This message is on the WhatsApp phone. Assalamu alaikum. I love jungle oats and I love eating carrots.
Carrots contain high carotenoids.
Mm.
Now, anything carry a lot of carotenoids is good for the brain.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you eat raw carrots, if you buy the carrots and tell your child, just I clean the carrots and I cut like sticks and give it to them and they'll eat the carrots.
So basically, if you are studying for the exams,
Yeah, color food, color vegetables.
your snacks can be
Yes,
carrots and
carrot
fruit,
sticks.
old-fashioned, going back
Yeah,
apples,
nuts,
fruits, almonds,
dates.
instead of going
Yeah.
through hardcore
So all
junk.
the color peppers, the bell peppers,
Yes,
color.
yeah.
You notice the red pepper is more expensive than the
Why
green
is
pepper
that?
because it's carrying a high content of brain food. So you pay more for the color.
And it makes a big difference.
It makes a difference.
Okay.
That's why green peppers are cheaper.
Okay.
If a green pepper is 8 rand, then you'll pay about 14 rands for
Oh.
the yellow pepper or red pepper.
Mm.
So peppers, tomatoes, papaya, carrots, squash, beetroot are all brain food.
Beetroot, they say, I came across a video that beetroot is like a cure for every single thing.
Well, it is allied to your blood as well. You're looking at, the association of beetroot and your blood, the colors are very close. But the beetroot is a coolant as well.
Okay.
So people that are postmenopausal, etc., eat beetroot. It's a coolant. It cools you. Now, all the diet that we mention here is also it reduces the possibility of oncoming dementia or Alzheimer's. All these diets that we
Okay.
discussed for today, because you must know it's the brain that detecting Alzheimer's and dementia. Right. So if you eat correctly, you can arrest the. And recently, I don't know if you noticed, a lot of academics
Yeah.
are suffering from dementia and Alzheimer's because they push for this pure academic life
Yeah.
and compromising their health lifestyle.
Exactly. Studying and
Yeah.
researching and forgetting to eat and eating
Yes.
unhealthy.
Yeah.
So going back to old school, so if you are studying, take care of your mental health, take care of what you put in your mouth.
Yeah.
And it's so simple.
So we call it a mind food,
Hmm.
right? Mind food is M stands for meditation.
Okay.
So you must pray.
Yeah.
You must ask God to help you in this period of stress.
Mm.
And you'll get messages coming to you. I know one of my sons in Matric, he hardly studied because he was courting on girl. Right. And I used to get frightened. This fellow is not putting the ounces of work, but he
Yeah.
was a very spiritual child.
Yeah.
He floated that examination with the least amount of work.
Mm.
So I always attributed that the fact that this fellow was so spiritual, he got outside help in the examination besides his own effort. Yeah, and the M there stands for meditation, and then the I is for intervention. Intervention means your lifestyle is the intervention. Of what you eat at that time.
Yeah.
And the N on the mind stands for neurodegeneration.
Once I think a while back you mentioned this, that normally our mind has to rest.
Yes.
But with the phone, unfortunately, it doesn't rest with the cell phone.
Yeah, but that is why you need to have a cutoff. I see my daughter who tells the children, no devices on the table at supper times.
Mm.
You don't, and then I carry my phone wherever because of the, calls coming in, being involved in Rotary, etc. So my grandson told me, he called me Tata, and they can know, Tata, that phone is not allowed on the table, yeah. And he's a 5-year-old child.
But you need that cutoff time.
Yes, you need cutoff time.
And someone told me you need to disciplined people that you're not always going to take that call. You're not being nasty or funny,
Yeah.
but you also need your family time.
You need family time.
You need family time, your eating time, your resting time, because the social media calls, WhatsApping, messaging.
No. It's eating into your
you.
personal time.
And a lot of learners who are studying spend more time playing on their phone.
Yeah, that is why some of private schools don't allow phones at all.
Yeah.
You see.
And
So to recap now, you see very quickly, it's color food, color vegetables, chocolates, dark chocolates, and then the nuts, you go for the walnuts, and peanuts also got protein. You remember,
Old-fashioned
the
peanuts.
old-fashioned. If you snack, if you fly SA Link, they'll give you a packet of peanuts, right?
Yeah.
And it energizes you. It's a small packet, but the point is, it's carrying a high degree of protein besides carbs. So you need carbs, you need protein.
Definitely, you're coming back on the special shows for our grade 12 learners. But rounding up, just advice to that child there who's studying right now, stressing, listening to us, and just trying to keep everything, contain everything.
Yeah. So very quickly now, sleep is important. So program your lifestyle such that you have a good sleep. When you're going to sleep, yes, the lights must be off, because if the lights go off, then the hormone, which we call the night hormone is produced in the gut.
Yeah.
So the falling off to sleep will give that gut a chance to produce a night hormone. And the night hormone is sufficient in your body. You wake up with full energy next morning.
Yeah.
Right, and then you get a day hormone that is supplied by the pituitary. That's a day hormone. Then falling off to sleep, nobody tells you how to sleep. When to, so you go to sleep. Now you can't sleep on your left-hand side because that's your heart side. So you're putting pressure on the heart. So you must sleep on your right-hand side, or you sleep on your back. And your breathing must be free. If your breathing is not free, buy 20 rands of Vicks and just use it around. And the passage must be clear, because your brains is getting energized with the oxygen. So if the brains is not energized with the oxygen, that means you didn't sleep properly, or your passages were blocked. And it's a simple thing, because no doctor talks about how you sleep.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to thank you sincerely, for always taking the time to be with us, especially this evening, and for sharing such valuable knowledge and advice with our grade 12 learners and anyone out there, on diet and health. We truly appreciate your guidance, and I'm sure our learners will benefit greatly from it as they prepare for their final exams. We have to have you. If we don't have you, it's not tradition. And of course, a special thanks to our technical team, just one person, Asif, for making this show possible behind the scenes. Your support keeps School Matters running smoothly each week. Do your best and leave the rest to the Almighty. Exam test your knowledge, not your worth. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Assalamu alaikum.
You will be loved by the merciful one. The power of the name. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Alhamdulillah. Masti sondele guyuala.
Teaching you something new every day. Radio Ansaar.
Africa.
For too many communities across Africa and the world, access to clean water remains a dream. At Africa Muslims Agency, we dig deep, reaching into the heart of the earth to fill the cups of those in need. Sponsor a water well for 16,500